guys, welcome back to Diary of a Bookaholic. My name's Dorothy. Today we have my weekly wrap up. So far over the weekend I finished Morgan's Cross by Nora Roberts. This is probably be like a 4-star read. The beginning was very slow, but you have to think you have a lot of world building and character building in the beginning. So with that said, also with the last few pages, it was like I couldn't stop reading. So with that said, like I said, 4 stars for this. Over the weekend I also picked up Ghosts of Cincinnati. Only got 1 story into this, so not much to say. This is just going to be like ghost stories, the history of ghost stories. So far all they've said was like what they consider a haunting and what different type of ghosts, and the first story, which was about a painter and a haunting in the Cincinnati Art Museum. Then I picked up the complete works of Edgar Allan Poe. I read about page 12. I read the introduction, which was more about Poe's life, and a few of the poems in here. I'm not going to try to tell you what they're about. I will say the Old English is a little tricky to read at times, but with that is Poe. I'm actually enjoying rereading this. Like, I read parts of this before, so we'll see how I enjoy it and how much I get through this year. Also started last night Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shea Ernshaw. I'm enjoying this. It's like a sequel to the movie Nightmare Before Christmas, which is one of my favorite like spooky Halloween Christmas movies. Also read a little bit of a couple Kindle books. I had Chainsaw Volume 1. I read that and really enjoyed that. That's probably going to be 4 stars. Again, I keep my 5-star ratings for my favorites or books that I really can't give any less. I don't have a good reason. And I also read a couple chapters of The Mostly Real McCoy. So I'm about 29% of that through. It's all I read between Friday night and this morning. So with that said, I'll see you in my next update. Update. So far, I read the next haunting story in here, which was about the Delta Queen and the first female captain of that ship. Also read 14 pages in Poe's complete work and a few pages in Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. Mostly I've been listening to Oblivion by Armentrout. I'm about 98% into it. I have about 11 minutes left in audio, so I'll probably finish that tonight while I'm playing Minecraft, cleaning, and then pick my next audiobook from there. With that said, see you in the next update. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Got my morning update right now. Last night I did finish Obsidian. Probably gonna get that like a 3.5. It was nice to go back and see like another perspective of the first book, but it was just basically a repeat. So after I read that, finish Obsidian, I picked up The Stand by Stephen King. This is going to be slow going for me. It's not catching my attention very much, but I want to read this and then watch the movie. With that said, probably it will end up being 3-star, about 38% through the audiobook, so it is what it is. Last night I did get to page 70 in Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. I'm enjoying this. I even watched Nightmare Before Christmas last night while I was reading this, so be interesting to see where Sally goes in this one. This morning I got up early and read the story in Ghosts of Cincinnati. This one was about they call it the White Elephant, but there's some subway tunnels under Cincinnati. They were talking about that, saying that they're haunted and like why they're haunted. This book so far hasn't been so much about the hauntings themselves. It's been more about the history behind the hauntings. So still an interesting read. So we'll see what I end up rating it at the end, because I still have quite a few more stories. Also this morning I picked up and read 14 pages of Edgar Allan Poe. I got to page 42 in this, so we'll see how far I get this month. Not going to be so much rating this one as just checking out his work, because I know there's certain works that everyone studies in school. I just want to get more of his work. Also last night I read to page 33 in Blood Mercy, which is about 5% of the way through, not very far, along with getting to page 47 in Born to Survive. And between this morning and last night I've gotten to page 88 of The Mostly Real McCoy. So a good bit of reading done among different books. With that said, I'll probably pick up, my next audiobook will be Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I've heard mixed thing on this, so we'll see if I like it. I'll keep you guys updated on that. And with that, that's all I have for this update. I'll see you later with another one. Hey guys, here with another update. Today I haven't read too much. I listened to about 22% of Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Today just wasn't a reading day for me. Other than that, I haven't really read anything. So this is going to be a quick update. So with that said, see you in the next one. Hey guys, here with another update. Last night I listened to a little more of Deadly Education. Not much. I got to 31%. I read a few pages of Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. Not much. About 10 pages. Also read about a chapter or so of The Mostly Real McCoy. Other than that, I didn't do any more reading. Next week or so, I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done, but we'll see. With that, I'll see you in the next update. Here with another update. So far today, I finished the story I was supposed to read in Ghost of Cincinnati, Dark Side of the Queen City. This one was about the Golden Lamb Inn in Lebanon, Ohio, which I've heard of that place before. I haven't been there. I have been to Lebanon though, so it was interesting to read about some of the hauntings that happened there and like the history behind the hauntings. With that said, we'll see how I like this collection of stories overall. Hopefully by middle of next week. I have about 8 stories left, so we'll see how long it takes me to read. I also read another 14 pages into this, getting me to page 56. The old language is still kind of tripping me up a little bit with the writings in here. They aren't as macabre, but if anybody who knows Poe knows all this stuff isn't macabre. But with that said, I wouldn't so much say I'm enjoying it, just that it's an interesting read, seeing some of his lesser known. Along with those, I did listen to a bit of Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Got to 61%. I am enjoying this. It's interesting. It has that magic school like Harry Potter, but it's nothing like that. But it has a little bit of a it's deadly, so it's giving the right vibes for this time of year for me, so I am enjoying it. I know I've heard a lot of mixed reviews out there over this book, so personally I'm enjoying it, but we'll see what I rate it. At the end I have 39%. I'll probably finish it tomorrow at some point, or even later tonight. With that said, that's the end of this update. I'll see you tomorrow with another one. Hey guys, happy Thursday. Here with another update. Last night I read a few more pages, got to page 110 in Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shea Ernshaw. I am enjoying this book a lot. I don't want to go into spoilers, really, but it's interesting to see what else is in Halloween Town and the area around it. Haven't listened to any more of my audiobook. Read a little bit of Born to Survive, You Can't Break a Broken Heart by Kylie-Anne. It's an interesting read, to say the least, and at times it does make me a little angry about what she went through. But with that said, that's all I have for this update. I'll see you later with another one. Here with my next update. I did read the story I was working on earlier. This is really short. It was a place in Milford that I hadn't heard of, even though I've been to Milford multiple times. It felt kind of rushed. That story did is like, oh, here's 1 or 2 hauntings that happen, and oh, by the way, there's more. So it kind of felt a little rushed. The next one is the Lady in Green, so we'll see what that story's about when I get to it tomorrow. Did read to page 72 in here. There's a few poems along with The Raven, which is probably one of his more known poems. So far they're hit and miss kind of. I know The Raven not quite by heart, but I've read it multiple times for school and not for school even. The other ones, I don't know if it's the Old English or if it's just the topics don't intrigue me, but they're kind of, it's starting to feel like a chore to read this, so we'll see how much I get rid of it tomorrow. Along with those, I did finish A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This one, I know I've heard mixed things over it, but it intrigues me because it feels like in this book, like it just randomly will give you classes or languages that you don't know, or you can't just ask for help from magic without getting some type of punishment, and it's interesting. I probably will read the next book in the series. I'm probably going to rate it like 4 stars. It's not a new favorite. It's hard to get it to become a new favorite for me, but it's a 4 stars. It's solid writing. I do know this version I have didn't have a very controversial topic. I'm not going to mention it. After A Deadly Education, I started reading Below Zero by Hazelwood. This is just going to be a quick in-between book. It's a novella. I'm about 50% in through it already, and started about maybe an hour ago, if that. So we'll see how much I like it, but so far what I'm getting from it is just a light kind of science-y romance book, so probably be a 3 to 4 star read. It's not going to be a new favorite of mine or anything like that. So with that, I haven't read any more of Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, so with that, I'll see you with my next update. Guys, happy Friday. Here with another update. Last night I didn't physically read anything, so I listened to The Stand. I got about another 8% into that, along with another 20% into Below Zero. On top of that, I did read a little bit of an ebook, Born to Survive, Can't Break a Broken Heart. Got to page 58 in that, about 30% through that book. With that said, that's basically all I read last night. Last few days I haven't been really in a reading mood, so we'll see what happens over the weekend if I get any more reading done or not. With that said, that's all I have for this one. See you in the next update. Back with my last update for this week's wrap up. Starting off, I did read a little bit more of The Stand, not too much, at 49% now. Also finished Below Zero by Hazelwood. It was a cute rom-com novella type thing. I am seeing what people are talking about where it's basically just the same thing over and over again, even though I've only read 2 of her books. But it's a little bit of a filler for me. Probably will wait for a while for the other novellas in her other book before I read it. So with that said, I'll probably give that a 3 stars. Also physically read the next story in Ghost of Cincinnati, Lady in Green. This is about a hotel in Cincinnati, about how there's this ghost that's dressed in green and that people have been seeing. It doesn't really go into history for once of like who that could have been. Kind of just briefly talks about it and then that's it. One thing I'm finding with this book is they just give you just enough of the history and the haunting to make you want more. And I don't know if they still do it now, but they used to do a haunting tour in Cincinnati. This was published in 2009, a good bit of while ago, over 10 years ago, so we'll see. Also read another 14 pages of this on page 88, so I should a little bit more than 14 pages. It's hard to explain. There's some works that I like, and then others that just feels, what's the point? I'm enjoying reading this, essentially. Also read a couple chapters in Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. I'm on chapter 10 now, so page 26. So not much read today, but hopefully this weekend I can get more of this read. With that said, having 2 cats watch me film this, all for this week's weekly wrap up. I'll have all the books mentioned in the description below, along with my Instagram, Goodreads, and my blog. And with that said, have a wonderful day and read what you love. Bye.